Awesome. I have started this off, and we are on a stream delay again, as yesterday, so I won't be reading chat, and I won't really be seeing things, but I will still be sending out my thoughts on this game. Those have been following along. I have made it to the semifinals for Olympiad's Terra Mystica tournament. Yesterday there was 3 rounds. I was only able to play in 2 of them, but I got a first and a second. And that was fortunately enough to sneak into the tournament here. Let's pull up the standings quick actually and look at those. So, whoops. Hephaestus, George Shortwell, Patrick all got 3 wins. Simon beat me in the first round. I got a first, second. Claybo got a first, and a third. And then some other players kind of got a mixtures of seconds and other stuff, including Bisco. I got all seconds. I got a second and a first and wasn't able to play in round 3, but it was just enough to sneak ahead of quite a few other really strong players, including Deranged, Bizzle, Rickery, Moyen, Lumen, all had a tough time. Hard Diggler, all, didn't quite get those wins. The wins were really tough and sucked up by a lot of players, which really helped me sneak by. So, got lucky there. That was really cool. And now there are 8 players left, all very strong players. These tables are going to be very good. This is, some might know in Discord, is semi-old guy, but like quite a good player. Simon B, George, Biscoa, great table. And then I'm playing at the table with myself, Patrick, Hephaestus, and Claybo. Also a really great table. A lot of great players. So we'll hope for the best, but it will not be shocking, if I don't win, because even if I think I'm the best player at this table, which I'm not even sure if I think that, but the other players are essentially all as good as me. I would argue that I might have like a very slight edge, but like even suggesting that my win rate here is like as high as 30% is probably wrong. So I'm essentially, you know, a coin flip. And then the other big issue, not big issue, but the main issue with the fact that I missed yesterday's 3rd round is that the way to advance in this tournament is if you win, you're into the final. But then it's going to go by overall tournament points to decide the next 2 places. I will always lose that tiebreaker if I take second here. There's no way I'll advance. So my only way to advance is win and I'm in. Whereas the standings, if we go to the standings page, somebody like Patrick already has 3 wins, as does Hephaestus. So like as long as they take second place here, and even if it's pretty likely I think for those guys to advance even if they don't win this game. They have a good chance of making a final, whereas that's not something I can say. And that's fine. That happens. Anyhow, I should make everything set. It looks like everybody accepted real fast, which is great. I'm just going to double check that everybody agrees. As always, I can't appear to talk when I'm typing. It's one skill I haven't learned, but that's fine. I'm just going to close everything out here in a sec. I am just dropping stream announcements like normal. It's a lot of work, not work. Player streaming. Okay, I sent all that out. Discord has one more thing. Okay, that is not a notification for me. I'm closing out this chat so I don't see anything. Hopefully all my settings are good, and hopefully everybody here is good, and we're good. Okay. And that's good. Okay. I had a really great time playing Terra Mystica yesterday, and then I had a really good time doing other stuff. My voice is a little sore, and I am a little worn down, so I'm actually not at peak playing performance, so that'll also be a slightly interesting thing. This track is pretty good. I like it in a lot of ways. We're missing the trading post scoring in the big building tile, but big building is late, and trading posts are pretty late, so that's kind of okay. It's a little hard to score in those events a lot of times with a lot of factions given that setup. We do have round 4 digs into trading posts, big building. We have towns in round 3, dwellings into temple early. This is a decent track. A lot of factions like to open temple, build a lot of dwellings. Towns can be tough. Digging, maybe. Some factions like that, some don't. Not a huge deal. Lots of trading posts in 5. Wonderful time for most factions to smash that. And big building late works. Mermaids are a pretty obvious candidate for this track. This water cult event's not great for mermaids. There are stacked earth cult events. That's also a big boon for some factions, which is like quite cultisty, right? Cultists are kind of always an answer, but this does look like a good cultists game. So I'm going to be boring and throw them in. Again, I prefer to have factions that are good, robust. Cultists in first seat tend to get a good amount of leech. They don't care too much about what their starting pass tile is. They have a good option here to just open temple and maybe a couple dwellings with some digs, or they might just be able to open double temple. The cult rewards downstream for cultists. These earth cult events are great. These air spades are good. Cultists will be a little limited this game because the opening cult rewards are not very good. So there's no like early workers or coins or spades for the first 2 rounds. So that's going to cause the cultists to not necessarily explode or snowball as much as you'd think. And I think that's a slight trap some players might still fall into though too. Like depending on how things break, they might slightly overvalue it. So we'll see. Um, we get dwarves in seat 2. That's actually pretty fun. This is a decent enough dwarves game. Dwarves like a lot of the earth cult events also. We are missing temp shipping. That was the other thing I list out, but it makes it a little harder to expand. But dwarves without temp shipping is pretty nice. The fact that the track is kind of good for everybody, but it's not necessarily incredible. And then with kind of limited ways to score on the pass, not super limited, but a little limited. I think that helps dwarves' natural ability here too. And then depending on the color wheel, dwarves are just good, but we get chaos. Chaos magicians definitely makes dwarves a bit worse. It's not that bad, but it's a little rough because dwarves like to start here, chaos like to start here, cultists start here, and then we have darklings. So this is a matchup I've seen occasionally. The upshot is there's a lot of leech in this matchup. Darklings might start here, and then cultists, chaos, dwarves. You probably get dwarves, cultists, darklings. The one downside is that means double dig in this matchup's a little funky because cultists can't usually take it because darklings are here and here, so cultists can't really double dig because you leave a brown hex, and that can be trouble early. It might mean that dwarves just get double dig. Dwarves are also in this color matchup very likely to push you down here, so cultists, if they do start here, probably don't get a center town. So they probably have to try to like build this town rapidly, which is not a bad life to be in. But cultists are maybe not that strong. Darklings are going to be fine. Darklings are always fine. None of these factions are particularly bad. I really don't know what's best. Cultists just can't be the worst, I guess is the answer. I'm gonna just bid on them and think a little longer. I'm not actually sure cultists are the best. They probably are, but Darklings might just be the best here. Um, Darklings, if they do start here, have a very easy round 3 town into taking some priest stuff, doing lots of digs. The only slight difficulty for Darklings is that if you do start here, I'm not sure you connect this game. So one alternative is to start here and beat Chaos to this hex. It also makes Chaos lives a lot more annoying. And then you start, so you're starting here, going through this, and you're going through here. The only slight problem with starting here is you really kind of need to double dig this early, but you really want to put early spades over here because leveraging this extra hex is actually, I think, part of. I think it's an underrated strength of Darklings on base map is the fact that you get to start on one of these hexes and then you take 2 digs and you wind up getting 3 hexes for 2 digs. As much as we like think Darklings have infinite digs, they don't have infinite digs to start with. And the fact that you can like rocket out your worker economy so quickly with such limited digs is pretty strong, especially in like a round 2 dwelling game here. To me, this looks like a sort of game where I kind of want to just open like I might just want to. It's possible you just open Earth 1 Darklings and you'd be boring as hell this game and just go Earth 1, take in all the early leech, dig, spend your early digs through here, build a bunch of dwellings through the first 2 rounds, build your sanctuary for water 1 and make a town in round 3 or something. Like it's a bit boring, but I think Patrick might be right that Darklings are best. Darklings just start on the spade, probably. That's like, I would start on the spade and try to get a workers action, although that actually, that has to be a thought here too. Both Cultists and Darklings might want the workers action. Cultists so they can go double temple, Darklings just because they need early workers. Chaos also if they want to just go Sanctuary, which also Chaos might just want to go Sanctuary. The alternative for Chaos is to start on this hex and take there is no temp ship. I was about to say temp ship is the answer, but Chaos probably all actually okay, so there's a lot of pressure on this workers action is probably what's happening. I mean, I guess Chaos maybe starts worker power. Maybe Darklings just starts worker power, but that's pretty nice whoever's getting past the spade. Um if you don't get an early workers action, my dream for Darklings here is I'm opening Temple and using my spade and my priest to just dig out dwellings. I'm just opening Temple 2 dwellings as Darklings, and then I'll just build another 2 dwellings the next round at the very least, and then I'll try to build Sanctuary, finishing a town. Which does mean that I'm spending all my early digs making that town, so starting here probably is wrong, but that means I'm probably never connecting. Which means I'm playing Darklings without network. Chaos and Cultists are going to take most of the cults. Cultists probably just win network this game. Dwarves maybe contest, and Chaos probably takes third. That probably does mean Cultists are still the best, even with this early cult reward being iffy. Also, Cultists improve significantly if Darklings do decide to do something in the north, I think. Like I've been talking about, like I'm assuming that Darklings are picking like the most annoying starting spots for Cultists, and it's not even guaranteed that's gonna happen. And if Darklings do choose to go anywhere else, I think Cultists become quite a deal if they're actually gonna get, especially if they get this hex. If Cultists can get these hexes and go for an early, like make that round 3 town without having to do the bridge and extra digs through here, I think that's a pretty big boon. But alright, the bids are too much. Darklings are great. Darklings just can't be bad. The real question is what time to take dwarves, and what do dwarves start with? If it does go priest, worker, power, dwarves probably just take the priest and send the first priest to Earth. Dwarves could also decide to try to double temple. If dwarves don't double temple, they probably just get double dig. I don't know who else is taking double dig. So, I mean, dwarves that get to open double temple or double dig with a priest to earth also feel like they cannot be that bad. The earth digs come a little late for dwarves to like super benefit, but darklings are good enough to bid a bit more. But I am curious how I feel. But that mean so does that mean chaos is the worst here? Dwarves should be able to win the race to this hex. Cultists don't have an insane number of early spades. I think cultists might already be bid too much. I'm not sure. I mean, cultists are very good, but darklings also just have to be pretty good, though, is my continued theory. Patrick seems pretty convinced in darklings, and I think he's probably right. I think we're getting close to dwarves bids, though. I do think chaos are last. The more I keep thinking about it, I think chaos almost has to be last. I think chaos probably get beat on the cults pretty hard. I don't think chaos has easy towns. Chaos could have life really miserable if darklings do start up here. I'm not sure chaos even gets to open sanctuary necessarily. I guess chaos probably gets to double dig this hex in this matchup and then bridge up through here maybe or something. Like, that's okay. Chaos will probably survive, I guess. The trading posts are good for Chaos, but most of the rest of this track is not special. The ship tile is probably just Chaos and Cultist fighting for it, so that's a big upshot, actually. So maybe they're not that bad. And if they're not that bad, I mean, 14 points separates Cultist and Chaos here? That might already be a little much. That's probably right. Yeah, that seems fine. I mean, worst case scenario here, Chaos does just start worker power, does a 3 power to a worker conversion, still does put a sanctuary up in round 1, should get a good amount of leech. Dwarves, I think, are well. Dwarves have a choice. I mean, dwarves want a temple in the center because I think they're making a sanctuary town through here, probably, or they'll eventually bridge town. And we do get a dwarves bid now. I think that's probably correct. I think I'm still going to go Darklings one more, though. I think Darklings might just be best in this matchup, although, again, their 4th seat is the one issue. But Patrick is going Team Dwarves now, too. And look, that's fine. Um, Darklings in 4th seat is still my concern. So the increasing question is who's going to snatch up a worker's power action first? Because I think if Darklings get to start on the spade and get a worker's power action and they just open Temple 3 dwellings, I think life's pretty damn good. I'm still debating if Darklings are supposed to do a Lamo Earth 1, just Earth 1, Water 1 type game plan, not play for network and just hit things hard though. And I don't know the answer to that. Dwarves are also pretty good in this matchup still. I'm not being completely faithful to my exact victory point bids here, but that's okay. I think I need to put a little bit of extra priority on 1st and 2nd seat just because I do think the power actions could be rough for some of these other guys. In which case, again, like if dwarves are just getting double dig, cultists are probably not starting on a great pass tile either, right? Cultists are just going to start on extra coins, which is that's totally fine, but it's not great. And I do think I think cultists are still a trap. I think they're overbid. probably go back to Darklings a little bit before taking Chaos still. I think both Dwarves and Darklings are just better than Chaos here still. I think Cultist versus Chaos might be at the correct level. But again, the early workers power action here I think is really like kind of interesting and somewhat key. Like I don't know, there should be a good amount of leech because again, I think we have like a cluster here and I think we have a cluster here potentially. So there's probably a lot of early leech in the game. I think the workers are pretty under contention here in terms of double temple. Darklings are worker short. Chaos might want to go sanctuary. There's no two worker pass style. Um, the spades are not under contention here. Darklings don't want to take spades. Chaos probably doesn't want to take spades if they're starting here. I guess Chaos could start here and take a spade and then try to like take a bridge, but there's not even they probably don't even have a neighbor here. Unless Darklings do decide to start in the north, in which case Cultists do become quite a bit better, but um I do think dwarves are getting a lot of leech, especially if cultists are going double temple. Dwarves are gonna get like a lot of leech. So maybe dwarves are the actual best bid here for a bit. Again, and dwarves might just get double dig. They might get just the priest and double dig. Cause I'm not. The main reason is like cultists will have the power to double dig first, but if darklings do start here and here, I don't I don't know how I don't know how cultists can afford to double dig while darklings could just take their hex. I'll go another on dwarves, but darklings maybe still is the bid. I really don't think cultist is. And I'm getting close to just taking chaos and saying I can make it work. The cult rewards are not very good for chaos either though, so I probably should keep bidding everybody else. Like it could be a rough chaos game. But there's also a few ways where I think it goes reasonably well for chaos. It depends a bit on how much Darklings are going for this town event too. But if Darklings are started here, this hex is potentially under threat from chaos at some point also. Um, yeah. I mean the even wilder option I guess is maybe Darklings attempts a shipping game plan here pretty early and tries to ship up to these guys and beat Cultist. I mean, that'd be pretty miserable, but Clay is bidding Darklings a bit more again. Patrick and Clay both been there. Nobody's touched Cultist after that early Cultist bidding. Hephaestus has been the one kind of stuck on them. Again, I don't. At this point, we're bidding everybody else like correctly, so I think it's coming back into like it's okay. But um, if Claybo just takes Chaos here, I'd be a pretty happy man, I think. 7 victory point edge on Cultists and Darklings here. I think I'd be content. But the bids are real close at this point. I think the table's done a pretty good job of getting the values here. So I mean I think it's a lot of just how the game's gonna break, how we're what unexpected things are gonna happen, who's that's gonna benefit. In which case, what faction should I be taking if I want like unexpectedly good things? I think dwarves continue to be like, I think there's just a lot of ways it goes well for dwarves. Like they should get a lot of early leech. I think they get a lot of early power spades. The one question for dwarves is if they even want an economy favor this game, which I know that sounds wild coming from me, but um like do dwarves really benefit from an economic favor this game? Or are they gonna get enough leech? And what economy favor would you even take? I mean, normally Earth 2, but I don't know if Earth 2 snowballs for dwarves here. Um, Mainly, I don't totally know like how Earth 2 lets you build more stuff in the round after. Maybe it does, but depends a bit if you actually get double dig or not. It depends a lot too, I think, who gets the spade tile into round 2. Darklings are probably trying to take spade, take workers, temple, dig and build. The spade tile might not go to anybody in round 2, which is also a little bit of a denial. Also, I'm assuming Darklings are taking the spade. I mean, other players don't always do that. Do I want to bid dwarves here, or is it actually time to go cultist, or are Darklings still just the best? I mean, Darklings might just be the best still, but I haven't touched them in a while. I'll stick on team dwarves one more. I've started to be convinced that I think there's quite a bit of leech, but we'll see. Nobody. It was really interesting that cultists got bid so much earlier, just nobody's touching them again. Um. Hmm. No temp shipping does make life a little harder on Chaos. A lot of times the way that you have great round 2s as Chaos Magicians is to get temp ship and be able to ship one, like you advance ship once, build this hex, dig this hex. But here, you need a lot. It probably is a rough Chaos Magicians game. The more I'm paying attention to some things. Not sure. I'm starting to think I need to keep bidding Darklings and Dwarves even a bit more. And then I keep being really hesitant about cultists. If Darklings does start here and here, cultists are not getting a center town because I think dwarves will beat them here. I don't think the early cult rewards are great for cultists. They're not, they just don't snowball off of them. Cultists can try to ship early. Maybe you try to go double temple, get some coins actions, start on a coins tile, and double ship in round 2. I mean, that's probably your best hope. But then you're not hitting an early town. And that's probably fine, I guess. Maybe, I mean, cultists have to still be pretty good, I guess. But I do think they have problems. But Claybo's going to bid them again, finally. And that's fine. Hephaestus is convinced cultists are still great. I am less so, but that's fine. I am not in charge here. Um, I'd be pretty content with getting dwarves here. That's my continued thought. I think Darklings are still second best right now. I think cultists are probably. I think chaos are just about equal to cultist at this point. I don't know if there's much value in bidding cultists, but I do think there's still value on dwarves and darklings. I think it's kind of an advantage for dwarves this game too that they're not concerned about this workers action where I think everybody else might be. And I think dwarves get the second upgrade in a game that should have a lot of leech early, have better tempo on power actions, might just get double dig. I think dwarves are getting the priest. If dwarves aren't getting the priest, they get worker power, and they almost certainly are getting double dig at that point. Um, the really only bummer of this game is that chaos are probably here, so dwarves don't get to expand through this part. But as long as dwarves win the race to like this hex, there's really no pressure on this hex, so they're gonna connect. Darklings maybe has enough priests to eventually try to mess with some of dwarves' hexes, but I think dwarves have a pretty great network this game. I think dwarves can usually send a couple priests to the cults. I mean, with darklings in the game, dwarves are going to pick up at least some cheap cult VP. Um, they should get to tunnel a decent bit. I mean, the pass tiles again are not great for dwarves, so there is that problem. But I don't think dwarves are going to hit this town event. Dwarves, if dwarves double dig in round 1 and then somehow get a spade in round 2 and they have all this built, they maybe could build 2 trading posts in round 3. I don't know if they care that much about it though, but This mid-game Earth cult rewards, I think, is part of why dwarves are going to be quite nice, though. Extra spades, extra coins is a big boost. And dwarves should get to go up the Earth track a good amount off their early priests. But we're really close to the point where I don't think there's much value for anybody here. I mean, I'm not sure. It really comes down to how bad are chaos at this point, and maybe it's correct to keep bidding others down just a little more. But we'll see. It is a tricky enough auction. I haven't played this exact color matchup in a while. Again, it's like not super uncommon, but I do think it's a bit tricky, so. Claybo bids Darklings again. I still actually think that's pretty good. And Patrick just bids them again, though, so. I mean, I think Darklings are I do think Darklings are the best faction. I do think they're better than Cultists by a decent bit. If I was bidding anything here, it'd be continue to go Dwarves and Darklings a little more. I don't think I'm taking Cultists. Maybe once more before I take Chaos, but I do. The one other like concern I still have for Darklings is just that tempo in round one. Just the fact they're the last upgrade, and I don't like. I think they really want a workers power action, and I don't know if they get it. I think Chaos might just take workers first action, and even if Darklings are forced to take workers first action, other people could keep upgrading. Like like Darklings will get leech, but I don't think they're getting crazy amounts of leech. Now, to be fair, well, after I say all this, I literally just played a Darklings game yesterday, right, where I got very low early leech, and I bid down to single digit Darklings, got very low leech, and still just won the game by getting like 150 victory point game. So I'm probably overvaluing just how bad it is that Darklings can't necessarily get leech, but I don't think I'm undervaluing, like, if Chaos opens this game with the workers power action after somebody upgrades and gives Chaos power, I think Darklings is pretty screwed. Maybe not screwed, but Darklings not getting extra workers in this game looks tough. And so maybe Darklings is starting worker power, in which case, does Chaos even take a spade? Probably. But if there's any chance that dwarves are just getting gifted the spade, um, I definitely would like to keep bidding dwarves some more too, but we get another cultist bid. I continue to think the cultist bids are slightly wrong. I think dwarves and darklings are still just better here than cultists, even though cultists are in first seat. Like, it can't be that bad as cultists to get a bunch of early leech, and maybe darklings still aren't starting to the hexes. I think. I mean, that's the big break, I think, if you're bidding on cultists here. But I think the lack of early good cult rewards is actually much more debilitating to cultists than you'd think. I'm definitely thinking I'm gonna go one more on dwarves here. Nobody seems to want to take chaos, and that's understandable. But I think there's still value in dwarves here, actually. Like, again, the more I talk about it, I think there's just too many ways the game breaks well for dwarves with lots of leech, lots of early. Like, Darklings are going to build around dwarves like a madman. Although Dwarves Temple might go here, that's still the like slight downside. Here might give better leech. Here is probably a better temple location. I mean, both should give great leech, really. It's just nobody's really building on these hexes this game. So you're kind of upgrading here and just taking the early upgrades. Here, you're gonna get a lot of leech. Like, Darklings are upgrading over here, so maybe you do just put your opening temple here and assume you're gonna build a second temple before you maybe Sanctuary Town, and maybe you never Sanctuary Town again. The bridge, and just skipping the Sanctuary is like a really good option. Like, Dwarves' best game here might be build no big buildings. Unfortunately, Claybo has bid dwarves again. God, how good are dwarves? How like are dwarves really only 3 points worse than darklings? Um, that's like the big question here. And how bad are chaos? Like I keep saying we're close, and yet I keep just wanting to bid the other factions. But I think I'm talking myself maybe too far into these guys. But God, I don't know. I've loved so many of the things I've been saying about how dwarves game can go. Let's count hexes quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 if things go well. And then you need two more, which is potentially like just a tunnel and build these two, or just two more digs. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spades needed for sure. And then the other two hexes are potentially 6 or 7. They're going to get at least one cult dig. I think they're going to get double dig. They'll probably get the passing spade at least once. They might get an air spade. So yeah, I think they can hit 15 network. I think they get plenty of leech this game if they're on these hexes and these hexes. They have great neighbors. I think dwarves are a contention for network, a decent number of cult points, and just a pretty slick game. All right, well now we're done. So I was hoping Claba was going to bid other factions just a little more. Um, I was hoping to see the others go down just a bit, but this is okay. Claybo's on Chaos for 30. I honestly think the auction is pretty fair. I still think Cultist maybe overpaid a little, but ultimately I think these starting spots are pretty good. I have paid a lot for dwarves, and dwarves are not always the strongest faction. So we'll see how much I come to regret my life choices. And I could wind up regretting my life choices. But Darkleads, okay, I was gonna say, as long as Darkleads start where I thought they were going to, I think I'm okay. I think the real concern for me was if Darkleads didn't start there. Wow, and Cultists are gonna do this plan instead. Um, so the North probably is open for Cultists, but like, I don't I don't believe. I get that you get an extra dig. So I mean, cultists are now a big threat to take double dig on me. So that is a slight bummer. But long term, I don't know how much I believe in this. I guess it helps cultists make a round 3 town if that's their goal. But we'll see. I mean, ultimately, I think it's a great leech position for me still over here. Claybos pretty much has to start here, you'd think. Yeah, okay. He was just paused for a sec. I've been saying Darklings are taking the spade, but we'll see. Darklings maybe are safer off taking the worker power and just accepting their opening temple one dwelling. But I would take the spade and hope I get the workers. But if I'm Claybo, I might just first action take the workers. I still think I'm probably most likely getting the priest here. I think the spade and worker power are gonna go, but if I get the spade, I'm very much taking it and very happy to get it. I still haven't actually picked what favorite tile I'm taking. While I said I wasn't sure about Earth 2, with dwarves, Earth 2 often means you can like get an extra tunnel done in round 2, in which case now your like worker econ is more than just one extra worker around. It's like two extra workers around, and it just like stays at like it's more than just the workers you get. Because of the snowball, it can often mean you have like 9 extra workers during the course of a game. Um, but I've bid a lot, and if I don't like, do I have enough ways to score this game without Earth 1, Water 1 type stuff? I don't know. The other option is that I take a worker's power action and open Earth 2, Earth 1 temples. But we'll see. We'll see. Darklings do just decide to take the spade. I think that's totally fine. I think that's probably correct, as I said. I think that also means nobody probably gets the spade into round 2. But who knows? Who freaking knows? Nobody knows. I don't know how this opening's gonna go for sure. I definitely am afraid I've overbid dwarves, but I could have talked myself into things, but I think dwarves are kind of sneaky, underratedly good a lot of the time. So I do think I really need early spades because I need to make sure chaos doesn't beat me to this hex, and I want to make sure cultist doesn't beat me here. So I do need 4 early spades this game, which I still was hoping to get double dig. I get worker power here instead of priest, so this does mean I'm very likely to get double dig though, so that's a big boost. But I'm not getting a priest to earth. If I upgrade next to cultists, I think I'm just more likely to be feeding them double dig potential. I also think I just get more overall leech here. Like cultists, I think want to take single dig to secure this. Maybe they're gonna just go double temple. Maybe they take the workers, but I'm gonna upgrade here. I think I can just do stuff over here later. But I think building this now is good. I think Darkleys are gonna upgrade next to me. I mean, maybe they upgrade over here, but Kalebo upgrades rather than taking the workers. I think Darkleys just snatch workers here then, is my guess. I thought Clavo was just gonna snap off workers there. I'm really curious what his opening plans are without a workers action. And indeed, Darklings do snag the workers right away. So cultists are not opening double temple. I'm always taking double dig, so cultists probably should just single dig here, and lock up this hex. Although I guess there's no real threat on single dig, like what's Clavo gonna do? I am curious who's taking a priest power action in round 1. While I claimed there was like a lot of leech, I'm not totally sure we're seeing a lot of leech coming. I guess we will, but we do see just single dig from cultists, so there's some nice extra leech for me. It also means that I pretty much have double dig on lock, because I just don't have to worry about it yet. If I finish upgrading here, though, that might encourage Darklings not to build here. They might choose to put their Sanctuary over here. But Darklings are eventually going to build around me anyhow. I don't know. I'm tempted to try to get greedy and get a bit more leech so I can take a priest and double dig. I think that's what I'd like to do here. I also just like can't bring myself to take Earth 1. It might be correct. Like it can't be that wrong. But gosh, my instincts are to just say Econ's gonna work out. I'm not even totally sure how it's gonna work out. I just inherently believe it always does. I think I might just want to build a second temple fairly early this game anyhow. I'm gonna go Earth 2. I'm gonna claim it works. So if I want to take priest and double dig, I still need just a little more leech before I can guarantee it. Kalebo might just take priest here. I really don't know what his opening is. I really don't know what Claybo's opening is. I think Claybo not taking workers was a pretty big shift in this early game. I think Claybo just opening Sanctuary, it was significantly better for him than passing on the workers. Unfortunately, Darklings is going to put their Sanctuary next to Cultists, which makes enough sense to me. It's a little bit of a bummer because I think he's about to put his early digs next to me. And so if he wanted to hit a round 3 town, I think it's a bit easier to hit the town if you put a Sanctuary next to me. But I get that it gets him less leech. And I also prioritize leech over where my Sanctuary should be. So I can't blame him too much. But it's just a slight bummer in the world. Um, I have to be slightly afraid that Claybo can take double dig. Um, I'm currently just a little power short of double dig plus priest. I could take the priest, send it to earth, and then double dig. But the problem is if I take priest here, Claybo temples for earth 2, he now could take double dig, and he very much will. So I think I gotta just double dig and try not to greed out the priest power action I want to. Presumably that means Chaos will take the priest. Cultists are maybe cultists get the priest because like they're getting enough leech. Um, so I mean that's okay. Um, I actually don't want to feed cultists more leech immediately. I do either way, but I think there's a chance Darklings are going to take this hex. So I think I'd rather build this first. Um, yeah. I think Clay probably takes the priest here, but maybe Claybo's just gonna make an expensive sanctuary. Um, if Claybo takes Fire 1, Earth 2, he has just enough power to make the sanctuary. No, but he is just gonna take another priest and fill up the cults early. Okay, that's fine. Patrick is also sending a priest to a cult rather than digging. Huh. This is one of those classic like is this actually a good priest? Right? Darklings could have put out 2 dwellings this round, and they chose to give up a worker production after needing to take a worker's action in order to move up the water track. Like, sure, I don't think that's great, but I clearly need to build a dwelling. I mean, Hephaestus might just be passing here. Hephaestus might go ship, might go dwelling scoring. I don't know. I'm pretty content to just take 6 coins, 5 coins, 3 coins, and some points. Um, it might be that I'm just hard digging next round. Just hard digging this hex and securing these two seems very reasonable. Um, I don't think there's much threat on this guy. Hephaestus is probably passing to just double digging, in which case there's slight threat on this guy, but we'll see. We'll see what Claybo takes. I assume he has to go Fire 1, Earth 2. Maybe Air 2 instead, but it is Fire 1. I would assume Earth 2, but he seems to be thinking about it. I might wind up single digging next round if Claybo doesn't. I'm starting to think my ideal next round might be just hard dig, build, build, and single dig and build. Um, that definitely makes the Earth 2 pay off if I can get all those extra dwellings down. Ending next round at Temple 6 dwellings and having locked up the key, like most of the key hexes. I mean, this is one more key hex I would need, but locking up all the other hexes I need would be pretty sweet. Cultists are getting fed in a lot of power. I am really sad that Darkling's built here instead of here. I kind of was convinced Darklings were going to go for the early town and put out early dwellings, but the fact that Patrick didn't suggest to me Patrick might be just focusing on this town, um, which is fine, but I was hoping for more early leech next to me over here, and it might not be coming, which is a slight downside in what I was hoping for. It is possible cultists are going to try to hit the town next to me, and so they could feed me a lot of leech in round 3, which would be nice. Um, I still think long term I'm in a great leech position overall for the game, but I really just can't stress enough how wrong I think this priest is, though. Like, the extra 2 coins is just not worth a worker for Darklings. Like, I get he also gets a priest back later, but he is just opening Earth 1 too. Everybody else opened Earth 2 actually. He got Earth 2 blocked. uh, but I'm a little surprised it's not Fire 1 Darklings. Like, if you're going to build a Sanctuary pretty quick. But just, again, although I said I might just go Earth 1 Darklings, build a lot of Dwellings, go Water 1, assume I'm never connecting. Although Darklings look to have a southern connection path as an option. But it might be right to just play the points greedy game, especially if everybody else is going Econ. I'm a little surprised it's Earth 2 Cultist, actually, now that I actually spotted that. I also thought it might just be Fire 1 Cultists. I mean, there's a lot of coins in the pass tile, but I think it's a little harder to figure out what Cultists are going to do with all these extra workers when they already opened Temple 3 dwellings, and they're presumably just passing and taking double dig at the start of next round. I mean, I guess Hephaestus could take coins here and think about shipping next round instead. But yeah, all sorts of interesting wrinkles early on this get one still, which, I mean, whatever, that's how it goes. I am still pretty sad. Like, my major sadness around one is pretty much everything went according to what I thought was going to happen, except I did think Darklings was going to upgrade. I thought I was going to have a bigger leech party in the east. I thought a lot of dwellings were getting built next to me. Um, but that didn't happen. Hephaestus goes for the points. I think I care about 1 cult step for a coin, just on the earth track, probably. Although I'm going to send like a priest to earth. I could send the first priest to error or something also, but I might just. I really would like to hit step 8 on Earth, is I think what I'd like. Even though everybody's going to move up the Earth track, right? Like, I'm not going to get many points from the Earth track, but I don't know if I care about points from the Earth track. The cult step does slow me down a little, so it does depend on how quick of a round I want. The spade tile is potentially going to be on the table, so having a quick round is nice. But I think my round is priest to earth, single dig, hard dig, and so I'm building a lot of dwellings. Like, that's already quite a few actions I'm gonna have. So I think taking one more and just having another long round is fine. Although I really don't have a use for that cult step. If I'm sending a priest to earth anyhow, what am I doing? What am I doing with this cult step? I mean, I could do another step on earth, but I really just want another. I really just want another whole priest to earth, but maybe I get blocked, and so the cult step is just a guarantee I can make step 8. Sure, sure. It might have some utility. It's probably worth it, but it's not. It is not easy to say here if that's actually worth it. But I do like the idea that my round though is Priest to Earth, single dig. Um, I think just locking up more early spades is great. I am gonna get a little more leech here. Patrick is building next to me, which is this is a little bit, this is just mildly incoherent to me. Um, I think you should aim for this town event as Darklings, probably. And I just think it's easier to put it over here and have your sanctuary over here to do it with. I think you might just wind up abandoning your sanctuary here, because if you're not going to rush for this hex, it's possible you lose it to chaos. So, like, I feel like if you were upgrading here, you'd need to build over here, but, oh well. I am not my opponents, but Darkleads only have one spade, by the way, next round. Like, they only have one priest. So, like, currently, Darkleads can't even build that many. I guess they're going to pass on to the priest, so Patrick will be able to dig out 2 more dwellings. But I think it's just way too slow of a Darkleads opening in terms of the number of dwellings you're putting out rapidly. I really think this is the sort of error NerdCube, has hammered a lot of the community on about. And I just think 2 coins now and a priest back later is not worth the worker income that you're giving up. But I've been wrong before too, so whatever. Chaos is going on ship scoring, so that's okay. I have enough power now to take single dig first action. I have to debate if Claybo is a threat to single dig and hard dig, so I don't get single dig. I really am tempted to just single dig first action and then hard dig. I think it just locks up such a nice round for me to build 3 dwellings and secure like almost all of my critical hexes. Like, I mean, I do have some more critical hexes that I'm gonna have to start tunneling to just to secure connection, including this guy, but I'm gonna lock up like a really beautiful layout if I just do the hard dig. 1, 2, 3 dwellings. It is gonna mean that I'm really coin tight into next couple rounds. But I'm expecting to get a lot of leech still too. Claybo's best move might to just be Sanctuary this round. Like, I really don't know what Claybo's up to. I think Claybo not taking the workers and just sending a bunch of priests off instead has really hurt him. Like, I don't think this second priest to Earth is doing him as good as just taking the workers and opening Sanctuary last round. Darkleads got gifted the workers and then kind of squandered them, in my opinion, by not building another dwelling. I know I keep hammering that point, but I mean, Darkleads are going to end this round Temple 4 dwellings. Ooh, that's kind of underwhelming to me. Wow, Cultists take single dig instead of double dig. Oh, because Darkleads are next to both of their spots, so they couldn't double dig. So I get denied single dig here. Oh, that's funky. Yeah, Hephaestus literally couldn't double dig again, which is really hurting Hephaestus also. But that means Hephaestus is just not putting pressure on this hex, so it's not a big deal if I don't secure it this round. I think I am going to send Priest to Earth and then use my Cult Step. That gives me 4 power and lets me threaded double dig. I mean, at this point, I think Claybo does. Claybo's very happy with that outcome, because Claybo is going to double dig and then advance ship and build. Like, he'll at least get some dwellings out this round. So I don't think there's any way I wheel double dig, but I also just always want a Priest to Earth. I would love to get gifted double dig, but I think Claybo just takes it here. And then I'll just hard dig. Hephaestus might just hard dig this round still too. I really don't know what else he's gonna do. Like, he also just has Earth 2. He might just hard dig this guy. Which then puts me back on the, like, I'm slightly concerned about this hex situation, and that is awkward. I don't have good answers for it though. Like I have to just hard dig and build these guys. Um, love to get gifted double dig. Just don't see it happening. But yeah, that was funky. Single dig, single dig was actually most contested there. Like I really wanted single dig too, but oh well. Darklings are gonna build a few dwellings. Darklings kind of want a coins action, so like if cultists do hard dig and build next to them, I think Darklings will take a coins action this round. The spade tile is open, so like I might wind up skipping this cult dig, unfortunately. Like the rest of my round just being, maybe I should have even sent the priest to earth because I'm just like never getting double dig here. Although Claybo's thinking a long time about what should, in my opinion, just be a double dig. Yeah, there it goes. Um, Yeah, I don't think I'm having the fastest round anymore by any means. So I'm a little sad actually about sending that priest maybe, because passing early just to make sure I get this before cultists do anything annoying would have been good. But I think my only option now is to just hard dig this out. Claybo presumably advanced the ship. Yeah, that was easy. Patrick just putting out dwellings. That's easy. I'm still expecting a hard dig from Hephaestus. Not totally sure what else Hephaestus is up to. I mean, he has a lot of resources. He just takes a coins action. With Earth 2, that makes enough sense. I just build another dwelling for sure. Darklings are likely passing as their next action. Do they pass on to 7 coins or do they pass on to spade? I guess I don't really care which it is. Yeah, actually I don't care what it is. I'm content taking either of them as the answer. The 7 coins are great for me. The spade and 3 coins is probably a little better, but they're very equivalent. Honestly. Although that means skipping my cult step. The spade is very good. The cult step though does help me get a second earth spade probably. That's tough. That is tough, team. Hephaestus is building a trading post. Does he have another action? Does Claybo have another action? The answer is no. So unfortunately, this cult step probably is turning incorrect because I really want to. My instincts are to really want to skip it here for the spade tile. If I don't get to pass on to the spade, I'm passing on to just garbage, right? But is fighting for extra spade, extra coin just better? I mean, cultists aren't threatening this at all, so I don't really need to rush at this guy. Hmm. I should use this. It's also just 2 power. The power gets me something potentially, but that's tough because, yeah, I mean, the spade's gonna just get scooped by Claybo instantly. I guess I get the dwelling scoring tile then potentially if Hephaestus passes, and if he doesn't, I just take worker 3 power coin. Like, it can't be that bad. It's a second temple from cultist. That maybe I should have seen coming. That makes a lot of sense, yeah. Instead of the hard dig. And it's water 1. Okay. So I mean cultists are gonna build 2 temple or 2 trading posts next round and make their town. Which is fair enough, but I'm really underwhelmed by cultist game. I don't see I think the bidding there was fine. I think chaos is doing pretty well. That double dig was certainly nice. I'm not that scared of Darkling's game either. But yeah, so I just passed for worker power coin and continue to hope to prove that mega economy is going to pay off. I mean, I'm in a slight bind also though. I could use a coins action here. I guess I will get a coins action here. I don't super want to hard dig again, but see what happens. I do think I get a coins action here, though, because, yeah, neither of these guys can take it. So, yeah, I'll take a coins action. I'm probably just sending a priest to Earth. Oh, wait, I don't have to send a priest to Earth. That cult step was really good. You know what I do? Like, I take a coins action, and then I just temple for Earth 1, right? That's what I do. And then I could town still, actually, too. And then I could, like, tunnel once this round. Like, that's a pretty slick round. Cult, it looks like Darklades is going to go for the town this round, which means they're going to build trading posts over here, or maybe a second temple and then a trading post. Ultimately, again, this is where I think this temple is just wrong, right? They got like one extra leech, and in return, it's making their towning a lot harder. Like, they could just sanctuary if they just had their temple in the right spot, but oh well, oh well. Also, can't I just take coins this round and double dig? I mean, I know that sounds greedy and all, but it looks like I totally can, right? Like, maybe I'm better off than I think. This is probably Earth 1, Water 1 from Klebo. So, I mean, no, it's just Earth 1, Air 2. Interesting. Okay. I take a coins action. I expect to get fed a lot of leech the rest of this round. I think cultists and darklings are likely to build next to me a good amount. Klebo finally throws up the sanctuary. I mean, he's ending round 3 with sanctuary, 2 dwellings, and some good cult position. Lots of cult coins for him too, or cult rewards. Oh wait, I have 2 spades coming in also. Like, oh my god, team, why am I fighting for these spades when I don't know where they're going? Somebody should have talked some sense into me, team. That's a 4 for 3. I mean, that's expensive, but it's early. It's got to be worth it. I can still make a town this round too. Like, I'm going to temple for Earth 1. And it means I'm feeding cultists a lot of leech too. Ugh, I don't love that part. Like, I probably upgrade here and just feed cultists an insane amount of leech and dare them to figure out what they're doing with it. I'm getting fed an insane amount of leech too. Like, what am I gonna do with this all? Maybe I take a priest power action here? I was gonna say Hephaestus just, or no, that was Klebo, but like, do I just take the first priest to fire here? And then, I don't see why not, right? What, like, why am I not sending a priest to some cults? I mean, it means I'm gonna have a very long round again, but whatever. I think I'm happy keeping myself at free power at this point. Like, I guess I'm gonna get overwhelmed on leech. Maybe I should convert, but like, whatever. This is fine. Hephaestus is gonna take 2 key town, close it out before Darklings might take 2 key. I don't think Darklings want 2 key though. I really don't know what town Darklings do want, to be fair. Maybe just a coin town, but I also don't know what town I want. If I even make a town. Like, I'm still debating on that front if like a town is even good for me or not. Hephaestus is going to lock up a lot of the cult points this game at least, and it looks like he will get around with some shipping. Yeah, and he does just take 2 key, makes a lot of sense. Huge power conversion. He has a lot of priests now too. Hephaestus can try to start advancing shipping real quickly. He's on the ship tile, so Hephaestus is going to ship a couple of times here. Possibly just, I guess Hephaestus has enough resources. Hephaestus might just 3 ship here, which actually is pretty strong. Hephaestus just going to 3 ship, I missed that. That that could be pretty damn good for him. And I'm just gonna feed him leech still this round. Ugh, don't love that, but I don't see how I can avoid it really. I think I should go for a town myself. Darklings does just take a copy of Water 1. Makes a lot of sense. That's fine. There's one copy of Earth 1 left, one copy of Water 1. Clabo is doing Clabo things. It's fine. It's a gray hex I was never getting, so whatever. I think I start building a temple for Earth 1 now. And I just feed Hephaestus a gross amount of leech, but whatever, that's what it is. Team, how absolutely insane is it to think about building a third temple next round? Think that's I have so much power that's just coins. I mean, I also don't have points, but um, look, it sounds crazy to me, and yet let's just think about this. If I'm gonna build another trading post here, what if I just build another temple for Water 1 next round, and I just got 3 temples? I mean, I can never Sanctuary over here, so I'm gonna have to Bridge Town. But like, what's wrong with that? I never want to build my big buildings this game, really, is my theory still. We'll see. I don't know. I might be talking crazy talk. I don't really know what I'm doing. Besides, well, I kind of know what I'm doing, but I think a good rest of my round is maybe the town, and it might be just a worker town. I mean, it could be a cult town, but what I really want to do is it's 3 workers to tunnel and build, and I think I'd like to do 2 of those after making a trading post. So the problem is I need 3 workers. So I could take a worker town and a worker's action and get another tunnel out here. Just tunnel. Seems reasonably good. I either am getting a spade or 6 coins here. That's good. I like that. I mean, my economy is wild, so I'm gonna want to temple for Water 1, I think. Because I have so many coins coming in anyhow. So yeah, I mean, let's make a town for a worker town, I guess. That's what the play is gonna be. Um, our economy is gonna be a little wild. I'm going to need to use priest as workers this game because I'm gonna have 3 priest production is my plan, which is a little nutty. But you know, look, it's okay to be a little nutty. Let's take these workers. And then yeah, we're just gonna tunnel and tunnel. And then we can cult dig this and this. Still eventually need to spade this game. Like I need to go here and here and here, but like Darklings don't have enough priests to be thinking about cutting me off, and nobody else is close to cutting me off. Hephaestus did go to 3 ship, by the way. He's gonna build this hex, and then put his cult digs up and around. Really nice plan from Hephaestus. I missed that he was gonna be able to afford 3 shipping after hitting the town this round. I am really warming up on Hephaestus' cultist game. He's going to wind up with a pretty damn good network because he's got to the north. I mean, maybe Clabo cuts off cultists, although it's tough. Clabo has cult digs. And whatever, yeah, so I guess this hex is probably going to be fought over because Clabo presumably would prefer to bridge town over here, but maybe Clabo's content here, but maybe Clabo just gives up on that. I don't know. This is a wild one. Where did you come from? Yeah. Hephaestus sneaking up there is pretty impressive. Cultists maybe are just too good, team. I might have overvalued. Although, Honestly, hey, puppies, you're a bit much. But honestly, I'm pretty content with this dwarves game still. Like, I don't know, we'll see. But like this dwarves game is pretty good, I think. Um, I mean, I'm gonna be at 39 points, so like I do have some problems, but I have a good network coming. I do have Earth 1. I'm gonna take Water 1 next round. I mean, again, it's a little insane, but it's not that crazy. I'll build a bunch of trading posts in the trading post round, finish out the game with a few more tunnels, hit 15 network. Have some cults. The cults are a problem. Claybo's played pretty culty chaos. So like my cult points are admittedly going to be pretty garbagey. I'm going to get like 3 points here, maybe 4 points on this track. Like I have a ton of priests, but um, the cult tracks are getting pretty full. But we'll see. Cultist chooses to prefer the spade over the 6 coins. I think that's great for me. I'd rather just pass for 6 coins here, because really the only hex I ever need to spade the rest of the game is this. Maybe I need one more dig in order to hit 15 network. I can't really remember that math, but um, yeah, this is fine. We just pass for 6 coins here. Get our 2 cult digs. I could just. Well, wait. I could bridge and dig this. What was I talking about? Right. I always want to bridge. Maybe I should just bridge and get onto these hexes now and just lock up this town space. It means I have one less tunnel to do this game, but the more I think about it, this is way, way safer. I eventually need a bridge action, and like this completely eliminates my tempo or needing to fight for the bridge, and it lets me put my cult digs in a much better spot. I should have seen that option a lot sooner. I think that's a lot cleaner. It means I can't contest power actions, but like what power actions do I need to contest here? Claybo is beating Darklings to this hex. So I think Darkling's game is like utterly doomed now, to be honest. Like Darklings need to ship in order to hit another town spot, but they need to like get at least 2 shipping in order to reach a town spot. They don't have a sanctuary. All they have is Earth 1, Water 1, which is like fine, but their economy is, I mean, their economy is okay, but they have only 4 worker production. They can take a coin action here, but like I think Darkling. Well, and they're gonna do some digs, right? So they have 4 digs. I mean, I guess there's whatever. They're Darklings. They just uncontrollably pump out points on some level, but like I don't know. I'm not too worried about Patrick's Darklings game here. I still think this is hurting a lot. I think this is actually hurting a lot too. I think if this was just a dwelling and he could have gone Sanctuary, he might have been able to go ship towns and actually like lock up some other hexes, but we'll see. Hephaestus has to be deciding how much he's trying to like fight for a northern like Hephaestus' connection path is pretty tricky still. I'm not totally sure where he puts these spades. Um, Claybo has like looks like he's gonna kind of explode a little here, which is what Chaos Magicians kind of do. Um, wow, yeah, he's Hephaestus has chosen to just fight for his connection against Claybo, which is fine by me. Um, Nobody can access these hexes currently, which is good, but I have nothing important to do this round unless Claybo starts going for Water 1. I am just templing for Water 1 because I have incredible amount of coin economy coming in. So I don't need this trading post, and just taking a copy of Water 1 in advance of next round is great. I'll build Dwelling, Dwelling, Dwelling this round, and just be set for lots of trading posts next round. I'm willing to send 2 priests to air, I guess. 2 priests to fire is a good option. Like I'm happy using all my priests here and then having 3 priest income. That's fine. The only other thing I would love is to get Kalebo's pass tile, but that's asking a lot here. I'm not sure how I'm gonna get Kalebo's pass tile, but it does mean that I'm probably doing no digs this round, so I'm getting no cult track points, but I'm hopefully gonna smash this round. Maybe I still build a stronghold this game right at the end, but I don't have a lot of tunnels left, so like I probably do have some points issues, because like I don't know. I have like 12 points left on Earth 1. I have like 12 points of Water 1. I have like 12 track points. That's 36 points. And then I do have Town, so maybe 44 points, but 44 points onto my current total is just mid 80s. I don't have great cults and I have good network, but that's not it's not encouraging. Technically, cultists can outreach this hex. I can't imagine what he would do with it, but I guess what else am I doing? So, also, what did Darklings wind up doing? Darklings did just take a coins action, which makes sense. I guess Darklings. The more I think about it, Darklings are just double digging this, right? Darklings are next action. They're going to double dig this, then they'll single dig this, and they will still have a sanctuary town in the center at least. Yeah, and that's what's coming. And then I'll build this obviously next action. But so that actually works out okay for Darklings. And then maybe Darklings do still like do some weird southern town through here later. Maybe they have enough time for it if cultists aren't ever coming south. I don't know. Hephaestus is coming south though. Interesting. Do I start declining Hephaestus? How good is his game? And how much am I contesting him on cults? What am I doing with more resources though, really, right? I mean, I think starting to decline cultists just a little bit is probably correct. Cultists can't win all these cult tracks, and I might try to be contesting him on fire. That might be my smartest play here, is just to slam Priest to Fire. I mean, he'll probably respond with Priest to Fire, but he might just prefer to go up the air track for the cult rewards. I don't really need that spade. I really want points. I think I'm going to try declining cultists, but I'm not sure it's going to amount to much. Looks like cultists are going to be the ones trying to send a town through here then. Cultists can connect this game on this hex or this hex, so like he has time to get there. Claybo's just going to have like all of his dwellings out, which is good work. Patrick is just doing what you'd expect, getting some digs, just milking those digs, Earth 1, Water 1, just Darklings are going to make a lot of points still, and that probably is going to be an issue for me. They probably are going to make too many points, but can't stop everything. It looks like I'm going to tunnel and build a dwelling, and then I'm just going to build this. I'm going to build another temple. Cultists are going to double dig. That's fine. I think I continue declining. I hope that annoys him. I don't actually know if it does, but I'm going to lock up my connection before anything weird happens. Claybo could cut me off of this. I just realized that. Should I undo that? Should I prioritize this hex instead? Claybo can't reach this otherwise. Oof. Maybe I get risky here. I mean, how risky is it, though? Like, if I lose this, it's really awful, but who can afford to take this on me? Claybo can afford to take this right now. Claybo could single dig. I think I have to prioritize that hex instead. I'm a little nervous about leaving the connection hex up for grabs because like the only other connection option I have then is double digging this, which I guess is an option. It's not that bad. But I think I don't think there's threats here anytime too soon. I don't know if I have enough workers next round. Well, I have tons of priests. Priests are workers. So next round I should be able to build all my trading posts and still tunnel here as soon as I build a trading post, right? Like I have 11 workers. That's a thing I actually do have. I produce 9 workers anyhow, and I'll have 3 priests once I build this temple. I'm gonna need more coins, but I mean, all my power is just for coins, so whatever. Um, we'll see. I don't think I'm actually winning this game. Um, based on my, based on my, based on my like projected points count that I ran into, that I'm getting to like mid 80s. That doesn't feel winning. Um, I don't see how that's gonna go for me, but I'd love Claybo's dwelling tile still, so I think I keep playing the let's delay for that game. I do really want to build this temple for Water 1, but there's no real rush on the temple for Water 1. Like, if I can build a temple for Water 1 next round, that's better. So until Claybo puts up a trading post, I could just build a temple next round, and that's actually a lot cleaner. The extra coin income is just way better than an extra priest here. But I do just want to lock up Water 1, but because I don't need actions right now, I'm going to send the priests to fire. Hephaestus is out this round, so I can really like fly up the fire track, potentially winning fire. I could have also just guaranteedly got up to step 4 on air, but I'm less concerned about trying to fight the air track. I also could be trying to fight Claybo on water, but given that Claybo can later just spam temples and he's chaos, I don't think fighting water track is productive. Patrick is taking a priest, which unfortunately kind of suggests that he is trying to stall out for Darklings or for the tile, but I mean he's gonna wind up with a lot of trading posts next round, so like he doesn't really need this tile, but I guess so be it. It looks like I'm not getting it though, which is also a bummer. Because I could really use those pass points. The lack of pass points is gonna kill my game, I think. Um, but maybe not. Maybe there's some advanced digs in my game that I wasn't calculating. I don't know. Patrick is just digging in one go. Well, that's exciting. And he's building in one go. So maybe he's not trying to stall Claybo, or maybe he thinks Claybo has no more actions. Maybe Claybo has no more actions. Claybo could single dig down a dwelling. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, maybe I keep knocking Patrick's game too fast. Patrick does have 18 points of trading posts, another town, a 5-point sanctuary, lots of digs. Just classic Darkling stuff. My game is the one that's looking a little points tight. Do I really want to build a temple here? The alternative is I pass for like a dig. I mean, it's not very good. I'm going to build a temple here. I don't think it gets me the pass tile I want, though. I maybe should have just passed there. I would have got a coins action if I passed. Coins actions are always nice, but oh well. Still do need more space to hit 15 network. Not totally sure who I'm actually fighting network for. I guess it would have to be cultists. I guess I have to be fighting cultists for network still, right? Cultists are definitely a threat to also just hit 15 network on me. Claybo is passing. I assume that means Patrick is passing. The only upshot to what I'm doing is at least I'm sitting behind Patrick, so I should be able to get the dwelling tile into the final round is the theory here. I just said I need some more spades this game, so it's probably correct to take it, although just taking 4 coins is pretty clean too. The cult step also actually might be useful in terms of stalling out. I mean, the spade, I guess, is just as useful stalling out wise. So it's really, do I value a spade at 2 coins and a cult step? I mean, probably I have to here. I need to build 4 more dwellings this game, and I have 1, 2 locations. Yeah, I mean, I need 2 more. Well, I might only need 1 more dig, I guess, actually. Um, Although me digging this round is pretty adventurous because I really want to secure this and I don't really want to leave it for another round, but I guess I can always just dig here or something. Well, we'll see. I mean, I'm gonna get quite a bit of leech this round, but like, do I even want to take leech this round? Like, paying for 2 for 1s is pretty painful still. I really have a points issue. I mean, I get 24 points out of the trading post round, and I get a town, which is great, and then I get a few more dwellings, but like 24 in a town is 32. So I am at 82, and then I have some dwellings. I must have done my math a little wrong. That at least brings me, like, I at least get to 90 and a couple tunnels. Like, I should get to 100, and then maybe like a dig advance. Like, and if I get the pass tile, maybe I can at least get to like 110-ish. And then I win or tie network 125, and I pick up some call points. Like, I guess I still have a game of like 135 here. Might be competitive. It's hard to say. Claybo has a lot of stuff and had a lot of points on us all. We all have a lot of resources that just came off that call track. I think my only priority this round, though, honestly, is to just build all my trading posts. I don't really know how long of a round Patrick has here beyond building trading posts, and I do think I need those 8 points on the pass. Claybo is full on power, so this is fine. Yeah, let's do that one. Trying to figure out the least impactful ways to offer leech the rest of this round. But we'll see. Town-wise, it might just be the 11-pointer for me. Like, I've been debating the 8-pointer, but now that Claybo sucked that spot up, I don't know how much fighting cults is going to save me. I do think I keep denying... Like, I kind of want the free power, but Hephaestus has, like, slight issues in terms of overtaking me on all the cults if I keep declining him. So, I think the play is to keep declining him, but it's a little painful for me to keep giving up the resources. In fact, maybe I do need those resources. Like, maybe I need a few more coins this round, and maybe I'm making a pretty big mistake there. I really need 11 coins, so I need 4 more coins. Well, that actually means I need 1 power. I need 1 power is all I need. I'm willing to just burn all of this. That's fine. I don't need it. I guess I maybe need it for double dig, so maybe I can't burn all of it. Yeah, maybe I should be accepting some leech. I guess I'll take a 2 for 1 from Darklings. They're going to offer it to me in just a sec. I'll take that. I can send a priest to a cult. It's a little awkward, but I'll take this 2 for 1 for Darklings. Darklings are going to offer me... Well, we'll see what they offer. Darklings, maybe. We'll see where they upgrade or whatever. I'll offer Darklings a 2 for 1. I mean... That's probably maybe a 3 for 2 is I don't know how much Hephaestus gains from a 3 for 2. I really don't know what my town should be. Like, Cult Town looks fine here, but 11 pointer seems fine here. But I mean, I guess the Cult Town is at least a point on Earth. Like, it has to literally be at least a point on Earth. So then the question is a fire step, a water step, and an air step worth at least 2 points? And the answer almost has to be yes, right? This is a temple from cultists. That was kind of unexpected. Why are cultists... I guess cultists just are building Air 1 here and then 2 more trading posts. I'm going to keep declining, although... God, okay, so I think I'm declining, but am I going to regret my lack of power? Nah, I'll be fine. I'll survive. It is an Air 1 from cultists. That's fine. Puppies, you need to stop. You're a lot. I guess you're okay. You guys are fine. This is a wild semifinal. This is what we were hoping for, right? We're hoping for a really good crowd, really good game. Claybo goes fire 2, so I mean I'm losing the fire track long term. Claybo's founding a town, probably a cult town himself, yeah. So I probably should take the other cult town. I mean, again, it's at least a point here. It probably does help me get a point on Darklings on air. It might help me get a point or two here. I mean, it's not pretty. Wow, Darklings are building another temple too. I didn't necessarily see that, but I guess I should have. What better things do Darklings have to do than also build another temple for Air 2 or Air 1? Yeah, the fact that Darklings are going Air 1 means that I definitely want to go... I definitely want to go Cult Town here also. There's no doubt that Cult Town is the way to go for me. And I'd rather just pay Darklings, so yeah. Alright. I still really want Darkling's pass tile. I think it's really important for me being competitive this game still. I'd like to build one more trading post. I'd like to build another dwelling. I'm not totally sure how many actions Patrick has left. To me, it looks like Patrick's just going to build a trading post and then probably be done. And so that's a little awkward because I'll build a trading post and I can also be done. But that means that I did take the spade tile and I'm not using it. It does mean that I'm going to have to take a double dig next round in order to actually finish out my network. It means that I can't tunnel a hell of a lot. I need a lot. Like, I need a lot of need like a lot of tunnels next round potentially too. Like I need a lot of workers and I don't totally have that many workers. So the question is it possibly better to build a dwelling here instead of a trading post? I mean, the answer is like maybe, but I don't think I can afford to do that. I think I have to try to min-max my points like a madman still. Do Darklings... Oh, Darklings just get a free leech no matter what I'm doing. Well, that's annoying. I don't have anywhere else to put it though, so I guess whatever, they get a free leech. Alright, in perfect world, I want to build 4 dwellings. That's 4 workers. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 total workers. Okay, never mind, I have 11 workers, because these all convert to workers. So actually I have enough workers. I will need double dig. I will have double dig at the start of next round. Actually, I don't even need double dig. I need single dig, and then I need somebody not to mess with that hex. So maybe just take double dig and give myself an extra dwelling is a good plan. Especially since Claybo does want that hex too, which is kind of the fun part. Darklings. Oh, Darklings took another action. They were able to convert a bunch of stuff to another trading post. Okay. I'm not totally sure why they went for the dwelling tile. They got 2 points out of it, but they did. So I mean, they are going to be at 100 after passing, and then have a good number of priests, and they're going to eke out a sanctuary and a town. But you know, they are going to be at like 120s, maybe 125. Maybe like 130, but then their cult presence is pretty mediocre. I mean, they're like mid 130s, so you know, I mean, they're not running away with this. I'm definitely like right there. I get to build a dwelling, which is what I wanted to do, and lock up my network. So I'm pretty happy about that. The only question is, does this cost me like double dig? No, I have tons of power actually. Um, yeah, this is convenient. This is very convenient. I'm up to 85. Oh, I did have a spade. Maybe I was supposed to use that spade and just get greedy on this guy. That's not wild. That wouldn't have been wild at all. But I think it's probably better just to lock this up. I have enough stuff. It's not a big deal. I'm gonna keep declining cultists. I don't have any desires to be helping them on any of this. So closing out fire would be nice. I can try to next round send priest to fire, priest to fire. But maybe just spamming 2 priests to water and passing Darklings on water is safer. We'll see. This it's a bit wild, but Hephaestus is about to probably complain about me declining all the time. Yeah, not a single one. Yeah, I mean, do I need to be declining Hephaestus is the question. I mean, he is at 48, but he's really at 57 plus a town plus 2 trading posts still. Plus this, so 57, 61, 12, 73. He has good cults, good network. I think I do need to decline Hephaestus a lot. Um, absolutely think declining Hephaestus is the right play. I mean, it does keep giving him power anyhow, but like if I kept feeding him more spades, that helps him get 15 network. If I feed him fire steps, he's gonna beat me on the fire cult. Whereas currently, I don't think he's actually gonna overtake me on fire. Like I think declining has been correct, as much as it probably is tough. But anyhow, yeah, it's fun. I mean, it is always tough being in that position where like you keep getting declined steps, but um, hopefully it's hurting him a bit. I mean, the one other like slight downside is like Darklings are just very unlikely to actually contest water. Well, are Darklings unlikely to contest water? What are Darklings taking with their Sanctuary, right? Darklings are gonna take water too with their Sanctuary. So that's actually gonna force Hephaestus. Wow. Well, okay. Sending Priest to water is a dead idea, but Klebo trying to fight water, I think, is the wrong play for Klebo. I mean, I guess Klebo doesn't have a lot of other cults to bother fighting. But I would expect Darklings are also taking water too next round. Because they're going to Sanctuary to make their town. They have nothing else to do. It's how they make points. And I mean, pray God, what else are they gonna do? Like, the answer is they're gonna do nothing else. Like, Darklings might even consider Priest to water here. Honestly, like it's probably wrong, but maybe. Yeah, no, he is just passing. But this is great. I get the dwelling tile. The dwelling tile is really important for me. I don't need this dumb spade. I do need to convert priests to workers, just so that I can re-earn the priests. Um, and then yeah, pass on to the dwelling tile. It's reminding me because I still have a spade action, but I don't need the spade as bad as I need dwelling tile. I'm just running out of ways to make points, and I do need more points. But I might be competitive here. Cultists are just going to close out the water track. That's fine. Darklings, I think, still are probably just taking water too. I mean, maybe Darklings take like air 3, but like Darklings fighting on earth and fire makes no sense. So it's really, do Darklings want to contest me on air, or do Darklings attempt to like, yeah, do something else? Do I possibly want to give cultists this step? I think the answer continues to be a very clear and resounding no. I don't want to help cultists on their cult fights at all, in any which way. I have plenty of coins next round. So many coins, actually, that I should try to advance ship. So I should try to have 2 extra workers. I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 9 workers, so I should be able to get 1 advanced dig off also pretty safely. Um, it looks like my round is to double dig and build, just give myself an extra hex, although Darklings are very likely to stomp it. Hope that I can build this or like it's a little tricky actually because I think Claybo is attempting to town by getting here. And actually, oh, Claybo is just gonna shit. I just realized Claybo's turning this gray, or not gray. He's turning this red, right? Claybo has shipping and has air spades. Claybo only has 1 shipping. So maybe Claybo's just turning this red. And so then I first action dig this and I can build this second action. Which makes Claybo's towning a lot harder. Is Claybo the one I need to worry about? Claybo's trying really hard to get the ship tile here, but Hephaestus is going to outlast him. I think I'm very happy with that result. Claybo's network is never hitting 15. Okay, Claybo's not a threat this game, right? Claybo's just not a threat. Despite Chaos starting as high as we bid them, they're not in this game. The factions that got bid a mile are the ones that I'm worried about. I think this game it might be Patrick versus me though. Hephaestus is at 54 here, 60, 64, 73. Okay, no. Hephaestus is still very much in this. 73 here for Hephaestus. He only needs to build 3 dwellings next round. He has 1 air spade, might be 2 air spades. Has another town coming. So he's going to tie me on network also, which negates some of my point ceiling. So 73, the dwellings at least don't score him points, but this is 77. Maybe he ekes out a stronghold. Let's pretend that he does. Just to give him those points. That's 85. 85 in network is 100 plus cults. 116, 120. Hmm. Interesting stuff abounds, team. Interesting stuff abounds. Another interesting thing is Claybo doesn't have a key. So my first actions next round is maybe to close out the fire track, actually. It leaves me a little vulnerable to network shenanigans. Although cult, like, does it? I don't. This is such a tight endgame, which makes sense against great players. I don't think Hephaestus has enough points to win this game after just doing that math. Patrick has 99, builds a sanctuary, 104, passes, 108. He has 4 priests to dig with, 116. He gets a town, 127. He does have a favor tile, maybe 131. Maybe beats me, 133. Has a couple more resource points because he's just not building much else. 135-ish. I think Patrick is the competition, which might mean that the Priest to Air is just safest, although Patrick might still reply with, might still just take Air 3 or something. I think my best move maybe is Priest to Fire. Because Claybo at best is going to have double dug this with his cult spades, and then he builds. There is no cult town left. He doesn't have the stronghold action for chaos, so there's no way that he can close this step with a town. So he would need to build a dwelling to get the key. So my first 2 actions can be win fire track. Hmm.
Hephaestus does have 2 cult digs. He might be using one against me. He might turn this brown and then just turn this something else. Like, he's winning network pretty easily. So I think I am about to get screwed on a hex, which also sucks. It does mean that I'm very happy I just locked up my network though, because I should have a very easy second place on network, and so maybe I just don't worry that much about building all these dwellings, because like Clavo is just no threat on network, and if Cultist digs away my hex, I'm just like never actually winning network. Oh, but Hephaestus is being friendly. Okay, interesting. Is there any way Hephaestus builds Stronghold Trading Post 3 dwellings? It's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 workers. Okay, he has 9 workers. It's okay, that's why he dug this way. Okay, so Hephaestus is going to 16 network on me actually. So you remember those silly days when I said like the early cult track wasn't going to snowball enough? Cultists are just stupid, everybody. Just stupid amounts of economy. So Hephaestus is outright winning network now, which is a problem. He's building more shit than I thought. It's a 12-point trading post, 15 points for this, 19 points, no pass points, no more town coming. So 19 brings him to 90, 101. 101 wins network, 119, and then 127, 135. 139, 141. Okay, Hephaestus is clearly actually the problem here. Patrick takes coins. I don't know why, and I don't think I care. It might just be a victory point move. I'm a little surprised Patrick's not taking the 11-point town, though. I think that's a huge mistake by Patrick, right? Claybo 100% towns first action and takes the 11-pointer because Claybo just doesn't have a way to make points, and then Patrick's left with a much worse town. So I think Patrick's out of the game with that move. Like I think that literally alone was just a big error to value the coins over securing the town. I think I have to go for the fire cult. Hitting 15 network literally doesn't matter to me. I have to like try to drill that in my head. 15 network is a waste of time because cultists are hitting 16 network, Darklin's network shit, Claybo's network shit. So I'm taking 12 points on network, and I need to take the fire cult for more points for myself. I easily have the priest. I don't care. Yeah, that seems very correct. This seems very important. Um, and Claybo can't do this in one action. He like even if he builds a stronghold, he doesn't have a double action yet. He can't close his cult because he closed this one. And he has one town key. Yeah, okay. All this is great. I take this cult. Claybo does go for the town first action. He's taking the 11-pointer right here, almost certainly. Again, I think it's a big mistake by Darklings to drop that. Claybo does scoop that. Does that put Claybo in any contention? Claybo did not get a pass tile. He's at 90. He can eke out some more points, but I'm not worried about it. Patrick is now just building the sanctuary, taking a worse town, not worried about it. My next action is to tunnel. Oh no, it's not the tunnel dodge, to close out this cult. Obviously, close out the cult. That was the important stuff. Let's not lose sight of what we're doing. I might want a priest action this round now instead, and so I could just fully advance digs. We do get water too, which is very expected, but that means that it looks like Patrick's not fighting me on the air call, which is also nice for me. I really don't know if I would have actually been able to respond on the air call here. I mean, I guess I could build a sanctuary myself as another way to make points here potentially, but really it's not. Like I can sanctuary for air 3, like it's pretty underwhelming. I think my real path to points is build a few more dwellings. Well, build all my dwellings. I do still have the dwelling tiles. So these are 3-point dwellings. So I should actually try to build them all. So maybe I do still need to figure out how to build them all. Yeah, I probably do. And Claybo could take double dig on me. Although I don't really know what Claybo's up to. Claybo doesn't have great paths to points either, like, because he's just never equaling my network here. Yeah, and Claybo's just advancing digs, which I'm also debating trying to do at least once or twice. So I'm at 85. A tunnel gets me to 91. Presumably, I find a way to build these guys 95, 103, upgrade digs 109. I take second on network 121, 129, 132. 134. Yeah, I'm mid 130s. So Hephaestos' cultists are just going to win this game. So despite my earlier claims and caterwauling about cultists potentially getting tricked by the early cult track not being as good and being a little confused about cultists starting over here and cultists having so much like early disruption in terms of not being able to take double dig when they wanted to, cultists apparently are just that good. They're just that damn good. They did really get fed leech off this center one. Like this hex is so great in so many matchups, like so much early power. And then I obviously cradled them with a lot of power too. Um, this starting spot did work a lot better than I thought it might. So kudos to them on that front too. What else has really went right for Cultist? I mean, the main thing that went right for Cultist is that Darklings chose this game plan and they just didn't. Darklings chose never to like really contest network or like get up into the north. That maybe annoys Cultists, but Cultists are barely in the north here. It's just a couple of their hexes to get places. I guess the answer is yeah. Cultists are very good. Hephaestus played very well. I mean, the pass tiles worked pretty well for Hephaestus maybe too. I mean, he got onto the ship scoring. Maybe that's one reason I just overvalue dwarves here though. There's just not enough pass points, and there's not enough track points for how I'm playing it either. But oh well, we play, we learn, we do stuff. I could still debate stronghold here myself, I guess, and then try to do a tunnels, but I think that's not really a game plan. I think that's too risky. Oh, I might get one more tunnel in here too that I forgot to give myself. So that is 4 more points. Like I'm probably mid 130s. Um, but mid 130s is not quite the 140 that Hephaestus has. Hephaestus is thinking really long about this move, which also concerns me just a little. Like I know I've left this hex, but I had to. I think closing the fire track was the right play for me. But yeah, losing this hex would still be a bit of a bummer. It might not be like the end of the world for me, but it's not ideal. It's really not ideal. I really don't want to like the part of the problem is like digging this gray and leaving it hanging is a big problem because Patrick has nothing to do with these priests but to just dig out others. Like he really doesn't have better things to do than just dig. And he can only dig this hex and this hex actually. So this is not like a safe backup plan at all. And I don't have other safe like dig spots really. But yeah, here comes Hephaestus's thing. At this point, accepting Hephaestus's leech is fine. Like, what's he gonna get? He's gonna go on an air track or he's gonna go on fire. It no longer matters. So I'll take free leech now. I've succeeded at what I wanted to do, so I don't care about helping give him a leech anymore. Hopefully I slowed him down, but Patrick might take a priest, so I do need to decide at a certain point if I want a priest action. A priest action might help me advance digs twice, maybe, or it at least lets me send a priest to air. But I don't know if I want that. Patrick is taking that hex away, which again he doesn't have better things to do, and I don't even get a free leech when he does it at that time. So, um, I will now just take this hex. It's pretty important. All right, let's go back to my math on Darklings. They're at 119, 123, 125, couple resource points, 127, 129, 130. Yeah, I mean Patrick. I do have Patrick beat by just a little. I think I think Patrick had an okay game here, but I do think Patrick made a mistake with this priest of water, right? It's really not working out for him for points. I think the lack of extra early economy was a bummer. I think it forced him to not. I mean, he did get a sanctuary town over here because he was able to put the sanctuary here instead of over here. So there's that. But I mean, if Patrick just shipped a little too this game, like he could have been the guy down here and he could have played some network this game. Like Claybo's network's crap, but I don't I don't I think this is a game again where like you could play the Earth one, Water one, just point spam Dark Leads, and that's what he chose to do. But I think playing more economical here and aiming to like contest the ship scoring a little and trying to contest network a bit maybe works. Although I am hitting 15 network, cultists are hitting 16 network, so maybe playing network is dumb here. Darklings are like gonna get 14 network at best, so you're really only beating chaos. So yeah, maybe it's not. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that isn't better. But nah, whatever. I don't know. I probably would have done different things with Darklings. I'm not convinced it works out better. Um, the main mistake here is Patrick did take a 7 point workers town here, and like that's okay, but Patrick definitely wanted the 11 pointer. Patrick is just moving up the water track. Hephaestus' bonus track. Claybo's advancing digs some more. With Claybo advancing digs here, I am in a little bit of a pickle because like I want to dig. I want to dig this, but Claybo's just gonna take this hex on me. Probably. He doesn't have anything else to do than build a dwelling here. I think. I mean, he could still build a temple, but I don't know why he would. Claybo's like managed to get to the top of like almost all the tracks, but he's just behind everybody. Um, so I mean, my question, I guess, is how important are these dwellings to me though? Like, I already have second place on network, so I mean, there's 6 points worth of dwellings. But the alternative for me might be to just take a priest action, advance dig twice, and then just convert power to a worker and build one dwelling. That actually seems way better, right? Just take the priest here, and then dig advance twice, and then put one dwelling down. I'll only hit 14 network, but cultists are just they have the resources here in hand and the hexes. Claybo can't reach that. Yeah, never mind. So I take the priest here. It's way better to get 2 dig advances and 1 dwelling down than worried about trying to get both dwellings down anymore. The only reason 15 network I thought mattered so much is because I assumed cultists were also going to be at 15 network, and that does matter a lot. Most of why Hephaestus is winning this game is because Hephaestus is actually going to get all the way to 16 network, and that's a pretty big shift. I mean, Hephaestus winning this game too. Just I mean, he played really well. He made a lot of smart choices, and he was able to make it a long ways. Claybo does take the hex that I assumed he would, so I don't have access to that at all as an option, which is fine. I do just need to accept that I'm just getting to 14 network and not 15, and I have 7 points on the pass, but that's fine. I mean, it means that I have 12 points of dig advance, 14 and 7. I have 21 more points. Brings me to 112 network, 124, 132, 135, 136. Maybe a resource points. I mean, 136 when Hephaestus I think is like a just barely over the 140s, like maybe 142. Not bad. I mean, whatever. Like losing by 5 points. I bid thinking that dwarves are gonna have a really good game. They did. I only got on the dwelling pass tile once, which is fine. The cults, I got a little less cult points this game than I think I was thinking dwarves maybe would here, but Claybo did play a little more culty than I thought, which is fine. I also am not getting as much network as I anticipated. Really did not expect. I really did not expect somebody to hit 16 network here, though. I didn't think cultists had that crazy of stuff, but it turns out, I mean, cultists got 4 cult spades and not 10 coins, right? So I mean, 4 cult digs and 10 coins that is an insane amount of like extra economy. My digs are a good amount of what's slowing down my network. And then 10 coins. I mean, I also part of why my network's so good is because I got 8 cult coins too. I mean, those cult coins are huge, but Hephaestus is at 15 network, doesn't even need to build the other dwelling if he's paying attention to what I'm up to, which I'm sure he is paying attention probably, which is giving him another point actually too is part of the problem, but oh well. Hephaestus has a couple of resource points, but yeah. It's a very nice game from him. Nice game from everybody. I mean, again, like these are all really strong players, a lot of great players. I have just enough resources here to convert to a worker and tunnel. Or no, I don't actually, right? Wait, shit, I can't tunnel. I have to build this now instead. Oh god, I might have got saved there actually a little. Patrick turning this is, yeah, surprisingly useful to me. I thought I could tunnel. I mean, I could just tunnel and dig, I guess, right? But I can't build the dwelling then. The dwelling is 3 points. The tunnel is 4. Oh, Hephaestus managed to dig advance. Wow, shit. Okay, wow. That's wild. I could take these workers, tunnel and dig, get 4 points. I could just convert a power to a coin, dig and build, have 3 power left over, so it's equivalent. I guess I'll build one more dwelling. I like building shit. Makes me happy to build stuff. Makes me happy to use a hex somebody dug for me. I don't know. Also, I totally messed up my math. I like claimed I was way ahead of where I am, aren't I? Like I'm only, oh no, I'm at 112 after passing. That's roughly where I said, right? Or did I have myself at 120 at one point? I don't remember. I did a lot of math and a lot of it might have been wrong. I'm at 113 right now. 125. Oh no, I'm okay. I'm upper 130s like I thought. Ultimately, I'm kind of happy I don't have another game here. I mean, I would have loved to make it, but taking a close second at a high, strong table is great. I definitely can't make the final on a second place, though. Again, that's just not how this tournament works. Like prior results matter, and so this is where not playing a third game yesterday is gonna make me suffer. Because if I had been able to play a third game yesterday, maybe a second here would have been enough for me to advance. Like if I already had another good result, but I don't have another good result, so. Claybo's a lot closer here than I thought too. Kudos to him. Like this is a nicely contested game. Hephaestus is just farther ahead than I thought because he got that dig advance. I wasn't planning on that, so I had him at like 144. But yeah, he's just 10 points clear of the table, which is pretty nuts. Looks like Claybo and Patrick actually tie. That's interesting. Yeah. Looks like the bids were pretty good, except yeah, cultists are that good. I should have just kept bidding them. Except I was saying that they weren't that good. I was saying they were the ones that were the traps, and they were not the trap. They were good. Reasonable times and thoughts from everybody. Cultists did get bid the most. I mean, yeah, the bids were probably pretty correct, though. I mean, this is a close enough game, and Darklead's maybe. I don't know. I mean, cultists really do just have a kind of crazy game. Cultist power action here is pretty wild. Like 3 single digs. Like they had to take single digs early though, because they couldn't double dig because Darkleys were next to them. But yeah, I mean this is like that's insane, right? Like 75 coins for cultists. Like yikes, a lot. Power via structures. Yeah, I mean cultist had insane leech. I had good leech, which was great. Claybo had really iffy leech, which is a lot of his problem. It's a tough game for chaos here. Darklings hit the scoring track really well. I did okay. Cultist did a little better. Everybody just hit some favor points where they could. This is a big shift for me though. So Cultist got the ship tile twice and the dwelling tile once. I got the dwelling tile once. So the lack of other pass tiles maybe did hurt me more than I thought. Maybe I did need to maybe I overvalued dwarves a little because of that. But I guess that happens. Mid 2 towns, he made 2 towns. He got network and cults. I was expecting to do just a little better on these categories. also hurt me, and then I did only 20 tunnel points. I think you could often overdo the tunneling with dwarves, but I'm probably supposed to, if I go Earth 2, find a slightly better way to get a little more of that. But, I don't know. At a certain point, Cultists just had a bigger overall game than I expected. And I don't totally, I guess, know why I expected them not to. Cultists are just dumb good. Uh, Darklead started next. I mean, maybe this was more clever than I thought. I mean, maybe cultists could have lost connection though, right? Like, if Claybo is on this hex a little sooner and this one, although again, I'm not sure how Claybo's supposed to be. It was the end of round three. Well, it's the end of round three. Like a lot of times, Chaos Magicians are a little more shippy and get over there by the end of round three, and then cultists maybe cultists do have a lot more of an issue this game, because connection wasn't guaranteed to them either. Claybo just wound up only Claybo played cults a bit heavier and didn't actually succeed. Um, and costing the cultists many cult points. I don't know. It's hard to say. Let's pull up the chat. Hopefully things have been happening. Hope you've all been enjoying it. Wow, 43 people. That's awesome. A lot of chatting. Cool. Thanks all. This matchup. You guys are tempted to go CM. You hate games like this where cultists and dark leads being this much better than everyone else. What's the upside to CM here? You love cultists. Yeah. You did hear Loki Temply. Deranged, you didn't believe in the dwarves. Well, now you've learned. Now you've learned. Dwarves in this matchup are still very good. You would do a goofy dig bomb game. I think that would have been wrong, but yeah, I agree, AJ. Bid has zero effect on the right favorite tile. If Earth 2 is right, it's still right. I agree. I did kind of talk about Earth 1 stuff, but yeah. Uh, duh, duh, duh. You guys are not sure about Earth 2, which is fair. I'm not totally sure the Earth 2 line was better for me than just Earth 1, but I think Earth 2 worked out for me. We give way too much importance to favorite tile choices compared to other stuff round 1. That's a great comment, Zedcob. I think we do all give way too much importance to favorite tile decisions. I don't actually think Earth 2 versus Earth 1 mattered a hell of a lot for me this game. Like I think it's just a handful of points. And I think it's way more important how the power actions break down. Like if Chaos Magicians just takes the workers and opens Sanctuary, how much better is their game? If Darklings don't get those workers, how much better is their game? If Darklings don't send Priest to water, like I think that's still a mistake, but I'm not sure. Like how and if Darklings just upgrade next to me instead of Cultist, how much better is that for me, right? Like these are some huge shifts in the game actually, and those matter honestly way more. But yeah. Round 3 Earth 1 looks nice. It was. Was this line better than 2 tunnels? Yeah, I'm not totally sure, AJ. The tunnels might have been better, but the tunnel points will come. We lost single dig. Earth 2 did look less good when passing with a worker in hand, but yeah, the fact that Hephaestus won this game without Earth 1 and passing on Earth 1 pretty willingly is also pretty awesome because he could have taken Earth 1, but you think Darklings has really botched the game, AJ? I kind of agree. I don't think your rule for yourself has always bid cultist more on base map. It's a good rule. It's probably true. I should have just bid cultist more. Cultists are just stupidly good. Although, again, I think there's a few ways this goes worse for them, but yeah. Whatever. So the reason that my voice is lower and more fried than usual is because I was out late last night, and or not out late, but I skipped the third game because I went to like an outdoor block party, like LGBT festival in town, and there was loud music, and I was talking to a lot of guys and trying to, half shout, that type of environment. So my voice is a little fried from yesterday, and I am a little tired. I mean, I probably was a little half nervous in the mid game too because I wasn't feeling great. But this is looking like a Darklings game to you. They just seem to have so much potential to score. Well, that was wrong. Uh, Cultists are really far back. Cultists are not far back. Cultists on base are just broken. It's just true. Yep, Hef did play a great game, but you're not shocked. Yeah, you continue to hate that faction. Yeah, I'm coming around to kind of hating Cultists too. It's what the auction is for. Yeah, I mean, bidding Cultists correctly is tough because, like, holy shit, like, I was correct that they didn't snowball that hard early. Like, they didn't get that much extra shit. Like, but they just got that much leech. And then they also largely didn't get disrupted on hexes. I mean, the fact they were able to hit 3 shipping in round 3 after making their town and then still eking out a dwelling, like, it was so much leech. But I mean, I also fed them a lot of that leech. Maybe I was supposed to actually upgrade here instead of here. Like, how much did it help Hephaestus that I gave him this temple instead of this one? I mean, I don't really know. I'd have to look back on that fact. But the fact I fed him so much leech in return that round was pretty freaking gross. Um, the fact that Hephaestus was able to beat Clabo here, though, still feels pretty important, but I don't know for sure. Um, I do think Hephaestus could have had some pretty big network problems, though, starting over here. Like, this is a gamble. Like, he took a gambit that the extra early economy would mean he could still connect. And I mean, I guess there's always the green option for him too. Like, I guess he manages to just triple dig the green and still make network. It's really unlikely he gets fully blocked. But it also isn't insane for Darklings to have gone on a shipping game plan, I think, and been harassing him in the north a bit too. But maybe that's wrong. Yeah, maybe I just need to bid cultist more. I don't totally. I'm a little on the edge of like how much more were cultists supposed to be bid versus how much did the game go how they wanted it to, and I don't have full answers for that. I don't have full answers for that at all. Ultimately, I'm not too sad about what I did here. I mean, Dwarves did have a really good game. I think I made a lot of good choices. I think Darkleeds made a few questionable ones. I think Chaos made a few questionable ones. Like, I still think Claybo's just better off with a Sanctuary opening. Um, Hephaestus, though, yeah, I really don't have a lot of complaints about what he did. I think his moves were really good. A lot of stuff that made a lot of sense. Made a lot of really good decisions. Um, and so yeah, kudos to him. Kudos for the win. That's what he deserves. Aren't the first two or aren't the two first of each semifinals advancing? No, so I'm not advancing. At least I don't think so. I'll go check. But this is where yesterday's results matter, and I should stop trying to respond as if it's live because it's not live. I'm on a delay. Uh, I'm gonna check to make sure that's true what I'm saying there in chat right now. But yeah, I don't think I can, I don't think I can advance. Which is fine. There should be a good final stream from F2O, I believe. Um, it looks like the other semifinal was like just as like lopsided of factions and bids, which is always, I don't love those games, but they work out. Oh, the other semifinal might be done, or no, I might just not be friends with any of them, or I have too many friends and I don't see them yet. Let's go find our nemesis, Simon B. They are still playing. Let's just peek at how this game is going. This was an ugly color wheel. The bids apparently were very low, and Fakirs maybe snuck it out. 14 network Fakirs have second on network and actually won a cult. I mean, George maybe has it. The result's gonna be there in a sec, so we'll see. It'll be cool. Fun game. You almost took water 2 in round 1, thinking of that fellow in chat who always advocates it. Nice. You almost gave George Shortwell what he wanted. That's cool. Yeah, it was a fun game, Patrick. I mean, ultimately, it was a really nice semifinal. We all played a strong game. It was all good. So you're looking forward to watching the VOD. All right. Well, you might find that I trash some of your decisions a little bit. Well, trash is a bit strong. I don't agree. I don't agree with the priest of water. I think that's not great, but I mean, 2 coins and a later priest back, maybe it works out. But I think the extra worker income is usually worth it. But you did not play an income heavy game, right? So I don't know how that balances out. I am trying to pull up the MSO thing to make sure I'm not crazy, but like I don't think there's any way I actually advance. Uh, oh wow, is Mike not online? Let's just pull up the tournament info. That'll tell me for sure if I remember the rules correctly. There will be no doubt in my mind if I advance or not. I'm pretty confident I don't advance. Blah 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 blah. Do tournament standings. There's a lot of rules. Tournament format. Finals. Okay, that doesn't tell me how they advance. Here we go. Advancement. Blah blah blah. We have 8 people in the semifinals. The winners of the semifinals automatically qualify. Tournament points are awarded based on results added to the overall standings, then used to determine remaining spots. Okay, yeah. So I do not advance. That's correct. I do not advance. And that's fine. I've had a great tournament. I did a lot of good games. Didn't quite win. It happens. As I said at the start of that one, there's a lot of strong players. Even if I think even if I think I have a slightly better chance of playing better than those top players, uh, it often doesn't amount to enough to totally win it there, and that's fine. I don't win, so looks like wow, Simon's gonna get this. George needs just a little more, but great game by George, great game by Simon. It looks like really a tough one for Giants, but that happens. Congrats to George and Simon. I think I'm pretty sure they both make the finals, and then I don't know who else is in the finals, so we'll see. Other semi, Simon just built every structure. Oh, I wasn't even noticing that. Simon did build every structure, did all the upgrades. That's awesome. 17 structure alchemist is so fun. Uh, Getting a win with 17 structure alchemist is really awesome. Simon's been on a really hot streak lately. Simon's played very well. 647 is awesome. Yeah, I am not advancing. That is correct. AJ is responding that there's some feedback for Patrick in the VOD, which is definitely true. I think Patrick. I mean, again, like not rushing the 11-point town. I think is for sure wrong, and then I think the priest is wrong. Most of the rest of this stuff is probably fine. I mean, it's like really like huge game decisions. Like I would probably rather play economy and try to like make more network, more towns type game plan work as Darklings, but I don't think there was anything wrong with doing Earth 1, Water 1, Air 1 Darklings and just trying to spam the track and the favor tiles as hard as you could. I mean, that nearly worked, so like, it's probably fine. It was hungover, so hungover's a stretch, Matt Johnson. I was not hungover. I actually don't like drinking that much, but I have plenty enough fun as sober, even if everybody else is drunk. So Uh, not that actually there wasn't that many drunk people because I didn't stay that late at night. But yeah, I'm just being around that many people and talking loud. Really like depletes my like social energy a lot, and so yeah, my voice is sore, and I just am like a little mentally, physically, like a little quasi exhausted. So I mean, I probably also wasn't quite truly at peak Terra Mystica performance because of that. But I don't know if I regret a lot of my choices there outside of, I guess, I probably should have just been a little more to cultist instead of dwarves, but I also think my read that dwarves were very good there was totally correct. So like, I think it's fine. Uh, Anyhow, I've been blabbing a lot. Thanks all very much for watching and hanging out. I'll try to get a bunch of these up to YouTube just because I think they're big games and it's fun. The finals is going to happen soon. It looks like a really great group. I think the finals are being broadcast on the main MSO like Twitch. I would try to direct us there, but I honestly don't know much about it. I'll try to just grab the link quick before I leave because they do have MSO streaming. Um, okay, yeah. Here is the official MSO Twitch, and to my understanding, they are broadcasting. Uh, to my understanding, they are broadcasting the finals. I think probably with Bizzle as part of Fire 2 tournaments. I'm not sure, but definitely check that out. Enjoy it. It should be a lot of fun. Um, it should be a great finals. I think it's Simon, George. It's gonna be Simon, George, obviously Hephaestus, and then I actually don't know the fourth. I'm trying to think based on the ratings. Like Patrick might be playing, or it might be Claybo. I don't know what the tiebreak was. Hephaestus, George, and Simon are definitely in, and so then Patrick and Claybo tied. Pusney did quite bad, and Beast Goa was so it actually. Yeah, Patrick, you better not be watching the VOD. I think Patrick with his triple wins yesterday, even with that third or fourth here, almost certainly is the best. Is the next best. So actually, yeah, good luck, Patrick. Don't get too distracted. I suspect you're in that final. So honestly, that final's gonna be awesome. Then that final's gonna be Hephaestus, George, Patrick, and Simon, which were our three triple winners and our double winner second place. Like the top four are gonna make the finals, I think, which is probably how it should be. I mean, other people should be allowed to, if they get wins, they should make it. But that's actually really cool. These guys have had a great run, and they're all gonna get to the finals. We should have a hell of a game. It'll be really cool. I look forward to watching that later. I am going to go do some other things. This has been a lot of fun, though. Thanks all who's watched, followed, chatted, etc. It's been good. I've been blabbing on way too much at the end of this one, but my mind is a little frazzled, and it was also, I don't know, just a fun time. And I like to do a little post game and peek on what else is happening. But the final should probably start in another 5 or 10 minutes. Should be on that Mindsport Olympiads page I just linked. Otherwise, it should be on YouTube later eventually. If I'm smart enough, I'll do things, but I'm not usually, so whatever. And yeah, with all that, it's been great. I will see all of you around for other streams, other games in the future, but I am going to take a break for a little while at least. Later, everybody.